Whatever you just did, don't do that. It was loud and clinky. Free bird. Free. I think we get in trouble for playing that song.
I'm certain.
So I've started to upload a bunch of our podcasts to YouTube.
Okay.
And I use pretty popular music
Right.
in our intros. And only one of them has gotten flagged so far.
One of them got flagged?
Only one. And it got flagged to be, it won't play in the UK.
What? What song
Which
was
is
it?
fine, because guess what? We made fun of England for like 15 minutes in that same podcast. I think it was meant to be.
Was it like an Oasis song?
No, it was a Coldplay song.
Oh.
Mistake number 1. Sorry, Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, wait, they got divorced.
They did?
Consciously uncoupled, they said.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because that's what celebrities do.
Right.
They consciously uncouple.
He got tired of trying to fix her.
That was a money comment, actually. So one of my best friends in high school, do you remember James Egan?
Yeah.
Do you remember how Gwyneth Paltrow rammed into some guy up at Deer Valley?
No.
And he sued her for like $35 million.
No.
And lost?
No.
Okay, so Gwyneth Paltrow rammed into some guy at Deer Valley.
In her car?
No, skiing.
Oh, I do remember
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, first of all, she weighs like 82 pounds.
Right.
What the?
I only weigh 82 pounds.
That's exactly right. Save Bandit.
Save Bandit.
So this guy sued her, and my buddy James Egan represented Gwyneth Paltrow.
He's a lawyer?
He is. So not to go off on too much of a tangent, James Egan is the coolest person I've ever met.
He sang at my wedding.
He did.
Yeah.
He just released a new album.
He did?
Yeah, he's the most talented.
Okay.
Like genuinely upsettingly talented and cool and nice in every facet of life.
Do you talk to him at all?
We not a ton.
No.
He just had a concert a couple of weeks ago that we went to.
I would have gone to that. I
Backyard
still
concert.
listen to his first album.
It's so
seriously.
good.
I really like it.
Yeah, he's great. So anyway, he represented Gwenny. I'm pretty sure they're still buddies.
So he probably got a ton of money off winning that one.
I have no idea. I don't know how lawyer fees work.
Right. He's like, oh, sweet. Now I can make another album that won't sell any
That's
records.
I don't know if he's sold.
I don't either.
I don't know what that looks like.
I'd buy it.
I will pirate it.
Right.
At least.
I'll pay $7 a month for Apple Music to listen to it.
Man. Apple Music, I don't know how it got connected to my kids' Alexa. And so every time they listen to a song now, it kicks me off of Apple Music.
That's AI.
I am not
sure.
paying another $1.50 a month to
do the family plan.
omit that program. Yeah. Mainly because it's hilarious. I can see what Ollie is listening to.
Oh, gosh.
And it is so funny. I can see all of his search history.
Yeah.
And he goes and listens to it. And I wouldn't be mad at any of the stuff he listens to.
You know your hips don't lie.
No, I would be, okay, I take it back.
Shakira.
I take it back. I would be mad. But he listens to a lot of like Yellow Card and Blink-182.
Yes.
So I have to have filters on there. But
Can
everything,
you do that?
Yeah.
What? How?
It's through the Alexa. It doesn't. Oh. But he's been into Eminem lately. He listens to like Godzilla on repeat and thinks it's the funniest thing ever. It's not. I'm failing as a parent.
I mean, it's a slippery slope. But I turned out fine.
Sure. As we sit here in a studio talking about things, it has been a week since we recorded last.
Yeah.
I'm proud that we made it 2 weeks in a row for the first time since the beginning of summer.
And somehow I was able to make this week work, even though my wife is in another country.
For a Latin lover, probably, or she's in Honduras doing charity work. It's one of the two.
I think I saw Fabio in the background.
Is he still alive?
No, probably not.
No, he's got to be still alive. I thought it was Ricky Martin.
Let's
he's
see how
La Vida Loca.
Let's see how old Fabio is.
I think he's got to be in his mid-60s.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wasn't he in one of the Fast and Furious movies?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he was in the second. Oh, yeah, he's 65.
Oh, I feel proud and ashamed that I knew that.
Yeah, and he is looking as horrible as ever.
Well, he got hit in the face by a bird on a roller coaster, if you remember that.
Did he really?
Oh, smashed into a goose or a seagull or something. It was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Just got destroyed.
Check out Fabrizio.
He looks like Lord Farquaad from... Shrek. Oh my gosh. Is that where they got it?
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah. Did he go to a plastic surgeon? He's like, hey, make me look like this guy.
He looked just like him.
But I want my head to be more square somehow. I want to be able to shred cheese off of my jawline. That was the main requisite.
Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man!
Oh my gosh. How is he? He is.
Lord
That's what he looks like. Poor guy. He should get royalties from that show. I'm listing the Mercedes ML500.
You're going to do it?
I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I need something different.
When are you doing it?
Next week.
Why do you need something different?
Because I want something different.
Okay.
Need and want are interchangeable.
Oh, yeah.
But I want something different and I need something different. I want something that gets better than 13 miles to the gallon. Because I'm driving a little bit more than I usually do with all of the soccer stuff going on. And I just want something that is a little faster, a little bit more engaging to drive, let's say.
A little more nimble.
As I was driving down the canyon the other day, I was like, this would be really fun in a car that I couldn't touch the ground with my hand when it's going around a turn. It would be more fun.
Body roll.
Yeah, we'll see. The car that I'm certain I'm not going to get, the Volkswagen ID Buzz.
I can sell you a Fiat 500.
Yeah, it does not fit cars and soccer balls inside of it.
Oh, you want to know what I've got inside that car right now?
Let's hear it.
I have my pickleball bag. I have my golf bag, 2 pairs of golf shoes. I have...
But you wear like American Girl doll size clothes, so it doesn't count.
Right.
All of that fits in the glove box so far.
Shut up, Richard.
I know it. Look, I understand, but it has to have 4 doors.
Okay.
There is an Abarth for sale right now that would be awesome.
Is there?
Yeah, but it just is too baby.
Have you driven one?
I've driven one time about a decade ago, and it was sweet.
Yeah. They're surprisingly roomy, if I'm going to be honest.
No, they are.
But I mean, you have 3 kids and
I do have 3 kids.
Coach
and soccer balls and golf bags and tennis bags. And I have to have a place to hide all of my snacks from the kids. And an Abarth wouldn't do that.
No, not quite.
Where am I going to hide a 6-foot Subway party sub? On the roof rack? Like a common fool?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no Slim Jim pockets.
No, it's not American. I have a question.
Huh.
So I'm getting away from the question I posed. Why did Jeeps have little rubber ducks all over them?
Oh, gosh.
There has to be like a backstory for that.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the backstory is, but basically...
the front story is it's stupid.
Yeah, basically what happens is grown men...
Okay.
Grown men, they go and they buy copious amounts of rubber ducks.
Okay.
Some of them are different. Some of the ducks have mohawks. Some of the ducks are blue.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised.
A blue duck?
So what happens is... I have a funny story about this, actually. I'm glad you brought it up.
Only Miss Lippy would love a blue duck.
Right.
That's a deep cut.
So basically, and again, I don't know why this started, but if you see a Jeep that you like or you think is cool...
I won't. Oh, you're talking about the other Jeep guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
You leave a rubber duck...
No way.
On said Jeep, and it's basically like a, hey, cool Jeep, bro.
Mother ducker. Yeah. Is that... that's true?
That is 100% true. Yeah, so you leave them for other people with cool Jeeps. So a couple weeks ago, I mentioned I was driving around.
Yeah, you were.
Russ's Jeep for a week or so.
Sure.
And somebody in the Smith's parking lot parked right next to me in another Jeep. Mm-hmm. And it was like a stock Jeep, Wrangler, red, but it had nothing done to it.
Sure.
They left a rubber duck, and I had like all the doors were off Russ's Jeep and everything. They left a rubber duck on my seat.
Okay.
I took the rubber duck and I put it back on their Jeep. And so it's actually funny because Russ's Jeep, like,
it's pretty
as far as Jeeps
out.
go, it's pretty sick.
It's pretty kitted out.
Yeah, he's got to have like 20 rubber ducks.
Really?
Yeah, just like, but he like keeps them in like the center. He doesn't Some people will just put them on their
That's
dash.
so I
They
have
display
seen
'em.
multiple Jeeps in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They have them like adhered to the windshield liner of the
Oh,
like up
gosh.
above the windshield. I saw one, with them all lined up on the dash. So knowing that,
Yeah.
I guarantee there are people that just go out and buy their own rubber ducks. They're like, "Oh, guys, somebody left 30 ducks on the thing and a receipt with my credit card number." Crap.
Check this out.
Yeah, holy cow.
Yeah.
Guys, this is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a Renegade. It's a Renegade. I'll replace my Liberty.
It would be kind of fun as like a YouTube thing if you could just buy like a crazy amount of rubber ducks and then while somebody's gone, like go and take one of the roof panels off their Jeep and fill the entire
That would
freaking
actually
thing.
be awesome.
They came out from the grocery store.
Okay.
It's just full of rubber duck. I'm writing this down.
Okay, no,
I'm doing this.
I have an equally good idea. We have to come up with other items that we should buy and leave on other types of cars. Yeah.
Yes.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna come up with 5 cars off the top of our head right now.
Okay, well, the first thing that came to my mind is I remember at one point Dad had like it was like a little toy golden retriever.
Okay.
And
bobblehead?
It was like a bobblehead,
Yeah.
but it was like a spring one.
Had like the
but-
floating head type
Yeah,
thing? Okay.
I would find one of those in a standard poodle and just leave them over Foresters
Every
everywhere.
Forester. Oh. That is a perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they would get behind that too.
Okay. Yeah, I could.
Regret my phrasing.
Took a quick turn.
Really regret that phrasing. Okay. So in a similar vein, every first and second generation Cadillac Escalade, bobblehead Rottweiler.
Yes.
They
That
have to
is
make those, right?
perfect. 100%.
They have to make those.
If not, I will start my own
Would you-
manufacturing business.
Okay, would you do Rottweilers or Pit Bulls? No. Okay. Car number 3, Chrysler 300, bobblehead Pit Bulls.
I got a choke chain for my pit bull.
Oh, 303.
303. We know what
Oh.
song's opening this podcast.
Do the Helen Keller. Okay, we have to come. Okay, 4th car. I'm going to come up with a car.
Does it have to be?
No, it doesn't have to be an animal.
It doesn't have to be an
It
animal.
can be whatever. Those
Okay.
just all dovetailed so perfectly.
Perfect. So my next one is absolutely an obviously fake Louis Vuitton keychain that is
Okay.
going on any Maserati Ghibli I see.
That's perfect. Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be. You can hang
Hang it
those
from the-
as mirror, like little earrings from the mirrors.
Yep.
I'm okay. I'm in on this.
Okay.
Mm.
Toyota Prius.
Oh.
It rhymes with
Crap.
schmeeness.
Because it rhymes with crampon.
So I don't know, like a suction cup or something. Okay. And
This thing's like a tampon on wheels. My Suburban crapped one of these last week.
last but not least, Tesla Model S. Has to be. What would it be? What would it be? A giant 4-foot inflatable arrow that says, "Look at me. I get better gas mileage than you." That would be hard to carry those around in the car, though.
You make it work. If you had a Cybertruck, they'd be easy to carry.
That's true. Okay. Okay. So this we need to flesh this out a little bit more.
Absolutely.
I can sense some real winners floating around in my ADHD brain. I haven't eaten enough for my body to properly metabolize my Adderall today, so it's going to come in spurts. So it'll come out. So remember 15 minutes ago when I said, I know the car I won't buy?
Yes.
Do you remember what car I said?
No.
The Volkswagen ID Buzz.
Oh, yeah, the ID
Okay.
Buzz. Okay.
So for those who don't know, the Volkswagen ID Buzz is the long awaited homage replacement to the Volkswagen Transporter, the bus.
I feel like the first time I saw this had to have been like 4 or 5 years ago.
At least.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So, all of the air-cooled Volkswagen stuff that is super cool and is kind of peaked a little bit.
Yeah.
The transporters they're fantastic.
Oh,
I would kill for a bus.
Absolutely.
I would kill for a bus.
The thing is, this was the first and maybe the only electric car I've ever been like semi like intrigued or excited about. I was excited about the Taycan, of course, being a Porsche guy, and then they used the word turbo, and I was like, oh, I'm out on that.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
So Volkswagen went through and they did the mid 80s to early 90s transporter that had the sloped front and rear window that I didn't love.
No, it's not great.
Unless it's like a cool Syncro or a Doka or something cool like that.
Eurovan.
Then they did the Eurovan that you guys drove around for a long time.
Yeah, that was
pretty
awesome,
cool.
Actually. That was a good van.
But the ID Buzz is the electric version, and it looks a little bit more like the original transporter.
Yeah.
Which
is, by far the best looking.
They said it was going to be electric. So they just announced what the base price for an ID Buzz is going to be.
Are they only? I mean, it's got to only be electric, right?
It's only electric. Yeah.
Okay. Base price.
Base price.
Let me take a guess.
Cheapest you're gonna be able to get one.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the cheapest you'll be able to get one of these is like $57,000.
$63,000. That was a solid guess.
Was that the best? Was 63 the best year of the?
Might have been like the 21 window Safari.
Yeah. Anyways, $63,000.
$63,000. And the problem is they're gonna sell every single one.
Absolutely.
But that. Again,
slightly different demographic than I maybe expected them to be sold to, but
just another electric car that is more of a showpiece than a solution for what they claim to be.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty bummed about that because I thought it was going to be cool. I mean, it might be cool still, but it'll be interesting to see what they actually look like when they come out.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see one, and it's that's unfortunate. $63,000.
I have some pretty strong disappointed feelings about that.
Yeah.
So I won't be replacing the 2003 Mercedes-Benz ML500 with an ID Buzz.
So the question is, what will you replace it with?
That is the question, and there is just nothing out there that's piquing my interest right now.
You could buy Jerry Seinfeld's BMW from Seinfeld, the one that the valet guy got in. And
when the O detached from the B?
Yeah.
Do you think it's for sale still?
It's probably sitting in the same spot he left it.
If you put enough black ice air fresheners in there, it would be fine.
Oh, 100%. That's probably what the smell was.
Yeah.
Was black ice air fresheners.
You know what? They didn't have
They were ahead of their time.
They didn't have a quick quack car wash to take it through back then.
Gosh, don't even bring that up.
So I have come up with 2 slogans for quick quack car wash that are better than anything that they could come up with ever.
Right, because what's their current slogan? Like, don't drive dirty or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, I call it quick scratch car wash, and I say, don't drive scratched.
Okay, so here's my 2 slogans for quick quack car wash. Go duck yourself.
Or duck up your car.
Get quacked.
Get quacked.
You're
on
sense.
quack if you use this on a daily basis.
That's right.
Yeah. Sometimes I get that. Like I go to, like, we started with a new client the other day and like, yeah, I used to just take this through quick quack like 3 or 4 times a week. But
yeah.
And again, I hesitate because I'm like, you don't know what you don't know.
It used to have paint.
Right. Yeah.
It was red when I bought it. Now it's silver and rusty.
Hey, can you fix this paint? You're going to need to call a body shop.
Is Mako open at this late hour?
I don't know if Mako's open at all anymore.
Oh, man, they better be. They've been doing fine work for the better part of 100 years. Okay, I have bad news today.
Okay, hit me with it.
I don't know if you can handle it. Given your love for all things Nissan, your affinity for all things Nissan, your infinity for all things Nissan.
Yes.
You ready?
Yeah. To infinity and the scrapyard.
Slogan. The Q50 is going away. The Infiniti Q50.
No. Oh, no.
Okay,
the Dacia Sandero has been delayed. Yeah. In other news.
Long gone but not forgotten.
Unfortunately.
We're trying pretty hard.
It's seared into our brains.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people I had tried to trade. Oh my gosh.
Got that?
Do you know how many people tried to trade a G37 for my M5?
There are so many.
Yeah, and one of the guys
So
was
many.
like, it's lowered and straight piped, as if that is like a beneficial thing.
You gotta
like,
unleash the VQ, baby. You let it breathe.
Right.
You let the big dog eat through the straight pipes. Okay, you're not gonna
let
muffle
Russ
that.
cook.
Yeah, it's I don't think he listens to the show, but there's a gentleman in my neighborhood that is the biggest Infinity stan of all time. Like, backs his car into a parking spot 10 parking spots away from the nearest car.
Well, yeah.
He has a license plate on his
Don't even.
says VQ.
No.
And I'm like, hey, I'm not going to name his name. We'll call him Paul because that's his actual name. I'm like, hey, Paul, what does the VQ stand for on your license plate? And he's like, well, that's the engine designation.
Right, but what does it
and I was
stand
like, no,
for?
what does it stand for, though? He's like, well, I tell people it stands for very quick.
You're making this up?
This is 100% truth. This is 100% truth.
Very quick to break down.
And I was like, yeah, that's great. We can't be friends. Instantly got called together in the same church calling.
You know what? You two just hash this out over some ministering.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't come up with a top 5 list today.
Okay.
Mainly because you haven't come up with a top 5 list in about 6 months. So I'm doing it out of spite. But I'm going to rank some things.
Okay.
I have a ranking.
Okay. I have after your ranking, I do have one bit of news that I came across the other day, and I
Now,
was
do the news first.
unpleasantly surprised.
Let's hear it.
News first? Okay.
News first.
What? So I thought of this because of what you said about the ID Buzz. $63,000 as a starting price. So you probably get that to like somewhere close to 70,000.
So it's 59 and 63 with all the.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's 63 out, supposedly out the door. But
Yeah.
with the way that stealerships work, have you ever heard somebody call it a stealership?
No.
Original.
But I'll never call it anything else.
The way that dealerships work, they're all going to be marked up 10 grand above MSRP at least.
Absolutely, yeah.
So 63 will be like, you lucked out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway.
What would you guess is the average
6'3".
No.
Oh, sorry. I'll let you finish the question.
What do you think is the average monthly car payment currently?
Like in the United States?
Yeah. And I think this was for new cars.
Okay.
But what do you think is the average car payment
somebody's paying per
people
month?
are making per month across the United
Oh
States?
my gosh. The thing is, I know it's going to be a crazy number, and it makes me sick to even guess it. But I mean, the average car price in the United States right now is like $40-something thousand.
It's like $45,000, I think.
I'm going to say like $879.
Okay. So my guess was originally lower than that.
Okay.
But the average car payment for a new vehicle in the United States is currently $735 a month.
That is incredible.
Like,
Incredible.
how is a regular person supposed to afford that?
It's debt. The national the level of credit card debt in the United States is like over $1 trillion now.
Oh, I can't.
It's higher
imagine.
than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And it's normalized. People are fine paying it because everybody else does it.
Yeah. It's
like, oh, well, my neighbor has a brand new TRX.
right. People think it's free money, and it's like, yeah, it's free money for credit card companies.
It's wild to me.
Yeah. So the average monthly payment of a used car is $523 a month, and the average lease payment is $595 per month.
That is so depressing.
Isn't that crazy?
That is unreal.
Yeah.
The amount of money that you'll spend on a depreciating asset because you don't go and lease a 15-year-old car. you're leasing a new car.
Yeah.
Oh, that's depressing. And the hard thing for me is, I know people will say, how else am I supposed to get a car? I can't afford to buy something used that's going to be reliable. And I disagree wholeheartedly.
Right.
Wholeheartedly with that.
Yeah.
Man. And the average lease or the average financing term is 7 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means I can't talk too much about it. Because I don't know enough of the details, but on the surface and understanding kind of how all of that works, even on the surface level, is so depressing.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's almost like house payment type stuff, where if you really look at things, it's like, that's a little extreme on the interest. Like a house, like if you pay like $500 extra a month, you could pay off your house like 12 years early.
Yeah, but that's short-sighted.
Right.
How am I going to get 11 Uber Eats this month if I save an extra $500? So there is a guy that I also know, and he has a newer Expedition XL, and so he has this Expedition, and I think it's a 2021 or something like that, and they mentioned that they're upside down on it.
Oh,
because at the beginning of the finance period, they rolled in like an extra $12,000 worth of debt into it so they could just include that in their payment.
Can you imagine?
And they were giving me a hard time because of my Mercedes. They're like, how can you drive that old? It's 20 years old. And I was like, dude, I love it. A. B, I don't know what sent to anybody on it.
Right.
I could drive it off a cliff and nobody, like, it wouldn't matter.
And hey, when dinner time rolls around, I can feed my children.
It made me really sad because that's just normalized now.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay, let's get to my rankings. Let's go out on a higher note.
Yeah, things took a turn for the
turn for the Nissan right there. oh. Kia Soul, baby.
Oh,
gotta pay the troll toll if you want to get into that Kia Soul.
Was a giant hamster driving around? Gotta pay the troll toll.
No, a giant hamster wasn't driving it, but it was a 17-year-old girl texting. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah, IQ of a hamster.
We're gonna have to edit that part out. So BMW announced, and it's so funny.
Stop there.
I know.
Anytime BMW announces something these days,
we have something for you.
Yeah.
But it weighs 18,000 tons.
Check this out.
My German accent sucks, but I do it literally every podcast. Every episode. I listen back and I'm like, that is bad.
Check this out, you silly Americans.
Have you ever heard a German person speak in any way?
That's more Bavarian, I think.
It sounds maybe like Dutch with a hint of speech impediment.
I have a client from the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have him listen to this and tell me if
is it Max Verstappen?
Yeah, Joost.
I would never detail Max Verstappen's car. First generation Prius.
Ooh, like first gen.
First gen.
Ooh,
yeah.
Dang.
Dedication to mediocrity right there. So BMW announced, we are bringing a wagon to the United States. It is an M5 Touring. And it is.
Yeah.
And normally, let's say 15 years ago, it would have kept me up at night for a week.
Trying to figure out how to buy it.
What organs I needed to sell. What kid I needed to sell. Who I needed to kill to get at it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh man, it just doesn't do anything for me.
Oh man.
Because they announced the M5 about a month ago.
Yeah.
More than that? I don't know.
The M5 Norwal edition.
Yeah. The
bye buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Oh, check engine light. That was the BMW warning sound.
I felt like a millennial there. I was so triggered.
Where's your safe space?
It's a BMW.
No, that's not safe.
It's a Volvo?
Yes. Oh, I need a Volvo. So they announced the M5 Touring. I mean, it's cool. It's a big, powerful wagon that's coming. It's not an SUV. So I'm excited in that respect. But again, do you remember how much the M5 weighs? Like 8,000. They didn't even measure it in pounds or tons.
It was metric tons,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
They said 3 747s.
Right. So normally what they do is they put a bunch of cars in shipping containers and put them on a giant boat.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, they were only able to do 4 of the new M5s.
That's right.
At a time.
And even then they had to plan it when there was no stormy weather to get through. So that got me
put it
thinking.
on the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh, Gordon Lightfoot. Rest in peace.
With a load of M5s.
Down the waves it dives, and everyone on board was killed. Woof. That was real bad. The Witch of November came stealing. We're gonna have to pause. I'm so ashamed of whatever just come in my mouth. What?
Including some terms with some Bavarians.
In 3 years, let's say, so the M5 is here. In 3 years, they figure out the logistics to actually ship it over. And I have an unlimited supply of money. We know I'm going to buy a wagon.
Yeah.
But which one am I going to buy?
I think you would
Nope. This is the ranking.
Oh, okay. You don't want me to guess?
Don't want you to guess.
Okay.
I'm going to list 5 or 6. How many am I going to list? So here's my ranking. Of the 5 wagons that I basically have to choose from. Number 5.
So this is your ranking.
This is my ranking.
This is like
in order
the order
from,
you would buy them.
Yes.
From worst to best.
Worst to best.
Okay. From M5 to best.
M5 to best. Exactly. So number 6, we'll say 6 wagons. Number 6, M5 Touring.
Okay.
I think it looks atrocious. I think it is too big. It's like all of the electric cars now. It's like a Hummer.
Yeah.
It has 8,000 horsepower. It weighs 9 tons. Does nothing for me.
Yeah, we detailed our first electric 7 Series the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really atrocious.
What is the back end on that? What is that giant black plastic thing on the bumper? That they try and break up. It's so tall that they try and break up the back end with a couple of different design elements.
Yeah.
Just not
no
great.
idea.
How was the interior on the 7 Series?
Beautiful.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Not surprising.
No.
Okay.
Incredible. In the back seat
Mm-hmm.
had Rolls Royce level seats.
Really? Like the reclining
and the pillows on the
headrest?
headrests.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, it was glorious.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm going to drive my kids around. They don't deserve that crap. Okay, so that's number 6. Number 5, getting hit by a bus. That's
now I'm driving the bus.
no. Number 4 would be, and this is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, I think.
Okay.
An RS6.
What?
I know. I said it was going to ruffle some feathers. They're cool. I just think that they are.
You almost see too many of them.
That's kind of what I think.
Yeah, it's like it's funny because when they announced it was coming, I was like, man, I'm never gonna see one. I'm dying to see one, and then it's like, oh
wait, they're everywhere.
It's like almost. I have a hard time complaining because they brought it to the U.S. and that was shocking, but now it's like it's overplayed.
That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah,
it's like this. You buy it for a statement to be a statement. I don't know. It does not turn me on the way that it used to.
Okay.
Number 3.
Yeah. Getting hit by a bus.
Not getting hit by a bus this time. Number 3 would be a V90 in the R spec.
Right. Not the cross country.
Not the cross
Get
country.
the cross country crap out of here.
I don't want a Subaru.
No.
I want a V90 that is long and low and beautiful, and the interior is Scandinavian minimalism perfection.
Oh, freaking glorious.
I
With a
love it.
Swedish flag on the seat.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic, and I'm a huge Volvo guy, so that probably helps a lot.
Yes.
What color would I get it in?
For me, that car is. I mean, you could get it in the R Design blue or
You
red.
You have to get the red. It doesn't come in that blue.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay.
because that's what I would get.
Yeah,
The Polestar blue.
I would just go. Personally, I would just go silver on that.
I think so too.
Silver or white.
With silver wheels.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, silver wheels.
23s.
Monoblocks.
Yep. Number 2 on my list.
I guess you could do meatballs on the Volvo instead of monoblocks.
Swedish.
Yeah.
Some Swedish meaties. That sounded remarkably German. See? It's all the same. Nick, do a British accent. Okay. How would you like me to do it? Just kidding. It would sound like this. Right. It's Australian. My brain is glitching out. The Adderall spurt is coming through. Number 2 would be an AMG 63 S
Yes.
wagon.
Yep.
That is... number 1 and number 2 for me are almost interchangeable.
Okay.
Because
Well, I know what number 1
I
is.
love
but-
them so much.
Yeah.
That AMG wagon is...
So I thought the
Almost
AMG
perfect.
would be your number 1. That was going to be my guess.
It's not.
No.
So what is my number 1?
Porsche Panamera Turbo SE Hybrid Sport Turismo.
Exactly.
Longest, coolest name. It's like a Panic at the Disco song name.
Yeah, or a Fallout Boy.
Fuck yeah.
Stupid Pete Wentz. You're so pretentious. But so there is one. We talked about this same car last week. There's one in my neighborhood. I see it all the time, and it's just incredible. It's just fantastic.
It's so good.
The lines are so good. It's almost like more of a shooting brake than a wagon. It makes me, I feel the fizz every time I see it.
Yeah.
So you know more pricing wise than I do. How does that compare to an RS6?
Brand new?
If you were to buy one or the other off the lot, what would it look like?
An RS6, you're going to be, depending on how you spec it, you're going to be in like the high 130s to low, maybe mid 150s with like carbon brakes and stuff like that. Sure. You can no longer get a Panamera Sport Turismo.
I know.
Turbo SE Hybrid. But when you could, a loaded one was going to be like low 2s.
Okay. So a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
But
just, it's hybrid. If you just did the turbo, and not the hybrid, then you're probably in like the 190s.
Okay,
probably. Yeah,
man. What about?
But you can get those for so cheap now.
I know you can.
Yeah, like you can get a turbo SE hybrid Sport Turismo for high 90s.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's so. If I was going to buy an electric car.
Mm-hmm.
I would buy the Audi e-tron RS.
Would you?
I would.
Yeah, I think it's better
love how
looking
it
than
looks.
the Taycan.
I do too.
Yeah.
I love how it looks. And those have depreciated. I guess as every electric car has depreciated.
Massively.
So much.
We have a client that just, it's funny because he went to trade his Taycan Turbo S in on a 911 GTS.
Okay.
And his GTS is sweet, by the way. Shark blue, aero kit, red interior.
Shark blue is so cool.
It's dreamy. But he went to trade in his Taycan Turbo S, and whatever they offered him for it, he decided he was better off keeping it and just buying the 911 also instead of trading it in. And then
that's pretty crazy.
He just bought a Mercedes EQE SUV as well.
That's awesome. The Mercedes electric. You know what? Is it the EQS?
Yeah, the sedan.
I love it.
Do you?
I actually really like it.
Okay.
Hammond drives one.
What?
The Hamster drives one.
Really?
Yeah. They are huge.
It's massive. The EQE is giant.
It's huge, but I actually really like. It doesn't look too electric to me. I guess it does look pretty electric.
I mean, it looks really similar to like the GLE
yeah
coupes.
Yeah.
Coupes.
Coupe.
Yeah, it's a coupe.
It's a coupe. We call it that because we couped the back end off. We couped the roof and made it unusable for normal driving. Nissan Rogue. Oh, yes.
You want to put someone in the back seat of this coupe? Go ahead.
Yeah,
top gear, top tip. Slice their head off.
Hunch their heads right off. That was a German accent that I was doing just now. I think the dumbest automotive trend started with the Acura RDX.
Oh, gosh.
That stupid sport coupe. What do they even call it?
Oh, no. You're
the X6, the X4.
Yeah.
I don't even...
I'm thinking of like the Honda Cross Tour.
The dog hunched on its back legs getting ready to barf. Same lines.
I almost took a picture of my dog pooping yesterday and sent it to you in Winslow to say rare sighting of a Chrysler Crossfire. But I couldn't get my phone out fast enough.
It's the exact same lines. You got like the hunched up back and the small front end. They produce the same noises. I don't know. So just that. What did they call those? There was a name for those. Porsche, the Cayenne Sport. What did they call the Cayenne where they cut the back end off?
They call it a coupe. Cayenne coupe.
It's so dumb.
Really?
Don't buy those.
Yeah.
And if you bought one, be ashamed of yourself. Show some decency. Like, you would say it's form over function.
Yeah.
But it looks even dumber.
Yeah, so for me, the only...
Did you hear how high my voice just got? It was like Charlie Day. I am amped up over here.
It's Kitten Mittens.
He'll be smitten.
Is your cat stomping around all the time? Driving you crazy?
Is your cat fat, skinny, or an in-between?
Doesn't matter. Because one size fits all.
Lancer Rally Art.
No, is it the Sportback one?
No. I wish.
Gosh.
That'd actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be
I don't have my sound effect. Wah, 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 wah.
Okay, so what I was going to say real quick. Is your cat constantly clawing at your furnitures?
Meow.
Oh, man. So the only...
You have derailed.
The only car like that I like and would buy, because it's not a lopped off version of a Q7 or anything like, is the Q8. The Q8 is like a similar styling, but it's like, okay, this is its own model. It's its own thing.
Okay.
Like the GLEs, they're just lop the back off of them.
Okay.
Because they have a regular version. Same with the Cayennes. Like everybody else just like, yeah, let's just shave that off.
For no
But the Q8...
reason. It adds nothing.
No. The Q8, first of all, the Cayenne and the GLE just look like lumpy. I don't even know.
Well, they look like they took a car and grafted it on top of an SUV.
Yes.
That's what it looks like. And I understand, like, people want to sit high up and they want to be in a big SUV.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh, but I don't want people to think it's an SUV, so put a car roof on it.
Right. So what I'm going to do is create my own car, and I'm just going to call it the Rammy-umptum.
That's a deep LDS cut right there. Okay.
It's going to be sweet. You're going to sit really high. You're going to feel way better than everybody else. But everybody else is going to look at you and be like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
This is the Coriantum trim. If you have questions about that,
you're going to need some real financial stratagem to afford this.
churchofjesuschrist.org. Or reach out to us and we will send two kind gentlemen your way. So to me, here's what it's like. Here's what those sport coupes are like. Okay. I need to wear a suit. Let's pretend I need to wear a suit one day. Okay. It doesn't happen very often, but I'm like,
should we tell the listeners about your suit?
My suit that costs more than my car that I wear twice a year and feel bad about, that I was gifted from a client. So let's pretend I need to wear a suit, but I'm like, I don't want to wear it. I'm going to make one out of sweatpant material. But
I would just drape myself in velvet if I could.
I'm going to make my whole suit out of this bolt of fleece and sweatpant material.
In that
but
moment,
I'm going to wear a tie with it.
In that moment, I was a marine biologist.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. That is what these sport coupes are like.
What
You're
is
not
your-
fooling
what is your-
anybody. If I show up to a meeting in a suit made out of sweatpant material, they're not going to be like, "Hey, cool suit, you look really good."
What is your tie going to be made out of? Maybe
like
a
a red lobster bib.
I thought it was going to be like a candy necklace, but a tie.
Oh, a bolo tie made out of dental floss and what do they call those? A ring pop. That's
I'm going to wear that anyways.
That's the sport coupe in clothing form. You know what I mean?
What is that guy doing? Just sucking on his bolo tie.
Yeah, it sounded mildly profane. So that don't buy a sport coupe. Buy something else. Buy an X5. Buy a Cayenne. But don't be like, hey, you see that one that looks like it rings the bells at Notre Dame? That's the one I want.
Go ahead and shave the usability right
Yeah.
off of that.
Yeah, also, could you make the tires square? Because that'll look cool. That's my rant for, man, I really got off on that tangent.
Tell me how you really feel.
I did, and I think my blood pressure is raising. Turns out also I have high blood pressure. I went to the doctor the other day. She's like, oh, this is, it's higher than what it should be. And I was like, if you listen to my podcast, it's full of rage and bad German accents.
I'm sick of you coming in here and eating all my food, Kramer.
That's how I feel about my kids, actually. All right. Well, I think this is as good of a stopping point as any, because I am still fixated on coming up with gifts to leave on other people's cars.
Oh man.
I think we each need to come up with a few things for next week's podcast. So rubber ducks for Jeep Wranglers,
Okay.
standard poodle bobbleheads for Foresters, and then an open-ended list.
This could be a long list.
2-hour podcast next week.
Bring it on.